Hey everyone, I'm Andy Fletcher from Convertri. Thank you so much for coming out this evening, or morning, afternoon, wherever it happens to be where you are in the world. It's so fantastic to have so many people here live on the call with me. This is now officially the biggest webinar, biggest audience I've ever presented to. So forgive me if I'm a little nervous. I tend to talk quite loudly and quite fast when I'm nervous. So do feel free to tell me to slow down or repeat anything if I go a bit quick tonight. So for those of you tuning into the replay, I've been on the call already. We've kind of like chopped that bit out, just doing some shout outs. We've got a fantastic group here tonight. Thank you so much for coming. Plan for tonight. I am going to show you how to build kind of like the ABCs of using the Convertri page editor. I'll show you some of like the tips and tricks for getting the most out of it. We will go over how to set up a form and integrate it with an autoresponder. Then I will show you how to make a checkout page, like list a product, and set the form up so you can accept payments. Then I'm not quite sure how long that will last. I've only done this demo kind of in parts in practice, but it probably lasts about half an hour, I would have thought. During the actual presentation itself, I'm going to hide the question and answer box because I'm a bit ADHD, and if you allow me to read questions during the presentation, I will answer every single one of them, and the one person getting an answer will feel it's awesome, and the other, now 120 people on the call, will be sitting there going, Andy, please finish a sentence, please finish a thought, and getting frustrated with me. So I will be hiding the question and answer box, so please don't think I'm ignoring you. I will go through the presentation, and then having done that, I'll probably like stop halfway through to take a few questions about what we're doing. Then after that, I'm hanging around for ages. I'll answer all your questions, kind of anything you want to talk to me about. We'll talk a bit about like, what's coming up in Convertri, what we're going to be working on next, any questions you've got. But yeah, if you do ask a question kind of while I'm presenting, please don't be offended that I'm ignoring you. I'm not. Well, I am, but it's on purpose because otherwise I will get distracted. Cool. Now we've got that out of the way. Just have a quick read through, see if everyone. Lots of people asking in the chat if there's going to be a recording. Yep, I've hit the record button. We've had a really good success rate now. We got this down. I mean, it's famous last word, so I hope it doesn't screw up. But we've had great success now with recording these, getting them up. Usually we kind of get them up within like sort of 48 hours of the recording. Hopefully get it up tomorrow, so it's not so kind of, if you want to watch it at the weekend, you can. Do our best to get that one up tomorrow. But yes, we are recording it. And the other important question, people asking, is this a presentation to sell something? No, there's nothing for sale tonight. This is entirely, we call them customer love, customer happiness webinars. So I will present, some interesting stuff about the product, and at the end of it, I will hang around for question and answer, either until my voice gives out or until you guys get bored. Which it's kind of a toss up sometimes, but no, don't worry. This isn't going to be the thing where I like show you 15 minutes of stuff and then like, oh, but look at this other thing I've got. None of that. This is just we're going to hang out. I'm going to show you some cool stuff. Going to build some pages and answer your questions. All the recordings go up on help.convertri.com, and we sell. See, this is why I don't read the question and answer box. Somebody's written the word sell. And we email out to the happiness list. Plus, they usually get posted in the Facebook group. So it's pretty hard to miss them. Robert says I should sell some templates or something. I'll see what I can do. I'll do a special deal right at the end, Robert. Okay, cool. I see lots of questions and lots of can you cover stuff coming in. I'm going to hide the question and answer box now. I'm going to go through the page building demo. I'll take questions, like I'll pause in the middle to check everyone's following what I'm saying, and then we'll come back at the end. I promise, like as many questions as you want to ask me, we can do. And I'd just like to say we are now at 150 people live on this call, so this is way bigger than I presented to. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. It is absolutely amazing to me that you guys want to come and talk about. Come and watch and talk about this software that I've spent 2 years of my life sweating blood into. Thank you very much. let's crack on with the demo. Right, so what you're looking at here is the Convertri dashboard. This has got a bunch of, I'm going to show you real pages that we have built, we have used, but the data you're looking at in the account is mock-up demo data, because whenever we show a live account, there's always someone that feels the need to go and register a ton of page views and screw up the data or whatever. So we now do our demos on demo accounts. This is our vegan funnel that we've done a load of testing on. So for anyone looking for an interesting niche to get into, I can highly recommend selling to vegans because they love buying recipes. This same goes for like any sort of sub niche of people, so like paleo dieting, the sort of 5-2 diet stuff. People getting into any new way of eating love buying, like they love giving you their email address for recipe books. They love buying recipe books. And there's so much material out there on the web. Obviously, please don't just steal other copyrighted material, but recipes themselves can't be copyrighted, only like the specific way of writing it down. So as long as you rewrite a recipe into your own words and don't steal any imagery, this is content that's super easy to produce. So this was a simple demo we set up to show just how easy it is to get started. And this funnel, which consists of a squeeze page to start with, that gives away a little factual guide about the 7 essential nutrients for vegans. Then we take them through into, like, they get a thank you page where it's like, you can get your free guide here. And while you're here, why didn't you go and check out this offer? Then we send them through to the offer and obviously the download page if they buy it. And this produces leads for about $1 each. So the ads get us clicks for about 10 cents each, and then the squeeze page on this is completely cold traffic from Facebook converts to about 11%. Then obviously most people click through on the thank you page. Why didn't you go and check this other thing out? And about 10% of the people that come through to the sales page buy. And so at the end of the day, we're about break even on the funnel and basically building a list of vegan buyers for $1. Well, they cost us $1 each, but we break even because we make them an immediate offer. So the leads are essentially free to our company, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to show you how to build this 7 nutrients squeeze page and show you how to wire up the autoresponder, add people to lists and so on. So let's get cracking. Please forgive me if this runs a little bit slow. I don't have the world's greatest internet connection, and sometimes if I'm trying to stream and edit stuff at the same time, my computer gets a little bit unhappy about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect up the squeeze page to the thank you page by drawing an arrow. So you click and hold on the arrow, draw it to the page you want to connect it to, and what that's doing is telling Convertri that after they opt into the form on this page, we want them to go to this thank you page. And you'll see how that connects up in a minute in the editor itself. Now we're going to open up the editor, which is by far the sexiest part of Convertri. We've got a lot of other stuff, but this is the coolest bit. This is the bit we put most of our time and attention and love into. For those of you who haven't had a chance to play with it yet, it is completely freeform. You can put things anywhere you like. You can drag them around. There's no rows and columns and grids and stuff like that. Wherever you want to put things, you can drag them around. It's up to you how you want to display them. So what we're going to start with is a really big fancy image. And you can just drag and drop images. So this blueberries.jpg image that I've already uploaded in advance of this demo, just because I know if I'm streaming, uploads can be a bit slow. But the image itself is 3.5 megabytes big. If you use that image just itself on a page, that would take forever to download. So Convertri optimizes everything for you. It will do all of the heavy lifting. It will make the image smaller, but it won't change the image quality. So we can put this onto our page. And then what we're going to do is use this as a background image. So I'm going to make it full width and nice and tall. Then I'm going to put heading bar in. So I'm going to use a panel for this. You'll see these pink lines that are coming up are the snap lines. So this makes it really easy to line everything up. So when I'm trying to put this exactly aligned with the top of the page and then align the bottom of this panel with the top of this one, I don't have to like squint really hard at my screen and work out exactly which pixel to place it on. It will snap into place as I drag towards it. The editor is completely WYSIWYG, so what you're seeing in here, other than the little like helper guidelines, is exactly how your page will publish. So there's no, like a lot of other editors are very sort of like, do a thing, publish it, see what it looks like, come back, do a thing, publish it again, come back, and this like that kind of edit loop. In Convertri, we've tried to make the page you're editing look exactly like the page as it's going to look in the end. For example, when we edit the color, like I'm going to make this a nice dark blue, but as I drag the mouse around in this box, I don't know how well it's streaming, so I'll do it a bit slower than I would normally. You'll see the page updates right in front of me. So I don't have to type in a code and then wonder. I'm not a designer. I don't really know hex codes of stuff. I could if I wanted to, but I can see here exactly what it looks like, and I can drag it until it looks good to me and hit select. Cool. Now, first little Convertri tip. One of these things that it's basically impossible to discover without somebody telling you is how to duplicate things. So there's buttons to duplicate, but if you're kind of a little bit more keyboard savvy, if you hold down the Alt key on your keyboard and then drag something, you will get a copy of it. So you see, what I want to do here is I want to have a matching bar at the bottom of the page to go with the top one, and instead of trying to match the exact height, the exact color, whatever, it would be quite difficult. I just want to take an exact copy. So you hold down the Alt key and drag it, and you get an exact match of the elements. Right, next up, we're going to make what's called an opacity panel. So you see this gray panel, it's really boring, it's naff to look at. What we do in the background color is we make it white. And then we're going to set the transparency to about 70%. So you see now we've got this nice, you can see the image through it, but when we put text on this, it'll be that much easier to read than if we put it on a really busy image. Wow, I can't type tonight. Good job this isn't being recorded. Oh, that's embarrassing. No, it is being recorded. Right, so same editing text. This works exactly like Word. If you've used Word, you know how to use Convertri text editing. You can click into a box and just type, highlight the text and choose a color. In this case, I'm going to choose a kind of like a sort of dark orange for it. We can do all of like the alignment that you're used to doing. And I think that needs to be a bit bigger. And we're going to create another text box. That was slightly less embarrassing typing. There we go. Then this text will highlight. We're going to center it. In fact, I'm going to make this box a little bit wider. Because I'm going to make the text nice and big because this is our headline. See, what about 40? Yeah, maybe that's a little bit. No, that's probably about right. But we'll make this, this is more of a sub-headline, so we're going to make this a chunk smaller. Like so. Then all of the standard things you're used to in words, we can highlight a word and maybe we make this one underlined, make this one bold, make this one bold. Then let's have an e-cover of the report that we're giving away. So another image. Select our ebook cover. Resize this to be a bit more suitable. Again, you don't have to do resizing before you upload something to Convertri. Just throw a big image at Convertri, and we will on your end page, we will size it to be whatever, exactly the size that you have put on your page. That's all you have to do. Now, before we put some form stuff on here, another cool demo. Convertri has this idea of containment, which makes moving stuff around the page that much easier. So Convertri knows that because this panel is inside this section, inside this image, that it should drag with it. So when I drag this image, you'll see the panel moves along with it. When I drag this panel, the contents moves along with it. So at no point do we have to tell Convertri that these things are inside it. It just knows because this text is contained within it, it will move with it. And if you're ever unsure, click on the display menu and turn on element outlines, and you'll get these really bright pink outlines that will show you exactly where things are. So for example, this image, it might be a little bit unclear where it stops and starts. It's very easy to hang an image like this kind of off the edge like that because it's transparent. You don't actually know there's any image there, but it's actually outside, and you'll see now it doesn't move with it. So by turning on these element outlines, it's nice and easy to see where things stop and start when you're trying to build this containment. So that's the element outlines in the display menu. Cool, let's stick our form in. So I'm going to give myself a little bit more room. Now in the form elements on the left, I'm going to build a very simple form today. So we're literally just going to have a text input asking for their email and a submit button. And then because my copywriting partner tells me to, we're going to have a little disclaimer message at the bottom here that says spam isn't vegan, so we'll never pass your data to anyone else. Then I'm going to drop this text size down a bit. And then let's change what these ones say. So we will have this say, enter your best email. And the submit button can say download now. And that's our page built. That's what, about 10-15 minutes, including the explanation I've given. So the next thing we need to do is wire up the form. So we go into forms, unsurprisingly. Now I will just say I'm skipping one step here. You will need to connect your autoresponder in a separate screen. We've got a bunch of video tutorials for how to do that. But I've kind of already configured it, so I can't demo how to do that, but it's very easy to do. So when we come in here and we click on send lane, from the drop down, we can now select the list inside send lane that we want them added to. So in this case, the vegan 7 nutrients list. Then having done that, we need to make sure the post submission redirect is set. Now, this URL here is the URL of the thank you page. So if you remember sort of 10-15 minutes ago, I drew an arrow from this page that we dropped in the funnel builder and pointed at the thank you page. Because we did that, this is populated into the URL. So we could send them somewhere else if we wanted to. We could send them to Google after we've done this. But most commonly, you want to send them to the next page in the funnel. So that's where that URL's come from, because we drew that arrow connecting them. Then finally, we need to tell Convertri what we're expecting to be put into this box. So click on it, go into element properties, form field settings, then from this drop down, we select email, because that's what the box is. So Convertri now knows that whatever gets typed into here, we should pass on to the autoresponder, send lane in this case. We will tell send lane this is the email. So whatever they type into that box. And that's our squeeze page. We can click publish, and we'll call it 7 nutrients demo. Hit publish, and you'll see it's doing its thing. So we will optimize the page, and that is now live on the web. Loads super fast. And there we go. Next thing to look at is the mobile editor. So Convertri will do a pretty good job, and this is actually something we're updating as well. Next Tuesday, we've got some improvements coming to the algorithm. So when we click on mobile, you will see Convertri does a pretty reasonable job of what we want it to look like, but it's not uncommon in the mobile view that you want some stuff to be a bit smaller. So this text, for example, I'm going to scale that down to about 70% of the size, drag it up a bit. Then this image, that's taking up a lot of room on a mobile screen, so we'll scale that down a bit. Now, next little Convertri tip is holding down the Shift key. So if you hold down the Shift key, then it will drag not only the element itself, but everything below it. So by holding down the Shift key, I can drag this box up, and these other things will move along with it to come up the page. Then we've just got to redraw these two, rather than having to move every single element on its own. So that's holding down the Shift key, and then dragging will drag the element and everything below it. Which is particularly useful if you need to drag a whole bunch of stuff down to create some space, because you want to put, let's say you want to put something directly below your headline and you've got a really long sales page. You'd hold the Shift key to drag everything below it down, create a bunch of space, build your new section, then hold the Shift key down to drag everything back up, close any space you didn't use, which makes it easy to edit things at the top of the page. Cool, that was quite smooth. And now, having edited that, obviously we would hit publish again because we've changed the mobile version. And that is a Convertri squeeze page wired up to capture leads, send them to SendLane or list on SendLane, and it has a mobile version. And that took about, what, sort of 15, 20 minutes tops, including all the waffle I've put into it. So I think that's pretty cool. I will be doing a demo next of like kind of how to build a checkout page form. But before I do, I'm going to bring the question and answer box back. Is everyone following? Is everyone okay with what I've already shown you? Please, if you could avoid asking like other questions at this point. As I said, I will hang around for as long as you like after we're done with the demos, answer all your other questions. But I just want to know, is everyone okay with what I've shown you? Awesome, a whole load of yeses. That's always reassuring. It's always quite nerve-wracking to come back to these question and answer boxes, and you're like, did everyone follow? And sometimes I can talk quite fast, and I'm aware of this. And once or twice on a webinar, I have got oh my god, talk slower, or what on earth are you talking about? So it's a little bit nerve-wracking. Cool. That's a good question. D. Murray's asking, can you use different email marketing tools that aren't listed? Yeah, you can. So I'll do like a better demo of that in a minute. But suffice to say, anything that will give you a form to put on a page, you can integrate with Convertri. Yep. So a couple of questions about grouping stuff. So Convertri, there's no multiple selection, but anything that's inside something else will move with it. So because this text and this image and so on are inside this panel, when I move this panel, it moves with it. And that goes multiple levels deep. So this text is inside this panel, which is inside this image. So when I move the image, all of that moves together. Cool. Yep. Some more people that have come. Wow, we're up to 186 people. Well, okay, 185. I don't count myself. That's loads. Thank you so much, guys. This is amazing. And for those people that came in late, yes, we are recording it. You'll find it. It usually takes about a day to process. We publish it. We'll send an email out to the happiness list that you're already on. You will get an email to the happiness list. It will be posted on help.convertri.com, and we'll post about it in the Facebook group. So it's pretty hard to miss them. Yeah, so a couple of questions about the arrow. So let's go back to the form view, the funnel builder. So this arrow here that connects our 7 nutrients squeeze page to the thank you page, that arrow, the existence of that arrow, is where Convertri gets the post-submission redirect, which we should possibly give us an easier name to say, if only for my sanity. So that arrow is where the post-submission redirect comes from on this screen. So that one. So that thank you page is published at this URL, and that URL is in that box because of that arrow. What this does is this means if you want to, you can point it somewhere else. So if you have a third-party system, if you wanted to send them to Google's homepage for some reason, you could send people there. You're not limited to only sending them to Convertri pages. That's why we've done it that way. Cool. Several people saying how intuitive. Thank you, guys. That's awesome. Cool. Okay, I'm starting to see loads of questions. What's going to happen now is I'm going to, particularly for the benefit of the replay, I'm going to do the second half of the demo. I'm going to talk about Stripe and checkout pages, and then I'll take the other questions that are coming in. So for the people I'm kind of ignoring at this point, sorry. Yeah, cool. Right. Okay. And again, apologies. I'm going to hide the Q&A box because you've already seen how easily distracted I am. So first thing we need to do if we want to sell something is list it as a product. So we open up the products page, click on add product, and then in here this will be Convertri demo product, and with a price, let's say we're selling it for $100. Convertri is quite flexible, so if we want to sell something recurring, tick the little ticky box, and then it's like this is $100 a month. Or there's a trial, so there's a trial month for $10, and then it's $100 a month. Or it's, there's an initial payment of nothing, so it's a free trial for a month. Or it's a free trial for a week, and then $100 a month. Or like $100 every day. That's probably not something you should do, but you get the idea. The other thing is you can set up payment plans. So maybe ignore the trial, and we're going to say it's $100 a month for 6 months, or it's $200 a month for 4 months. So you can create, or you can say never, and it will just keep rebilling. But for the purposes of today, we're going to keep it nice and simple. We've got the Convertri demo product, which sells for $100. Cool, and now we're going to build. So this will be demo checkout page. I'm not going to do as much design on this one. You can design it however you like. The purposes of this demo is I'm going to show you how to connect up the form to say that it sells a product. And similarly, so on this one, we will say it is a checkout page, and if they buy, they end up at the download page. Very simple. Don't worry about how they get to the demo checkout page. You can assume there is stuff that happens before it, but it doesn't serve much purpose to build out a bunch of other demo pages. Our key checkout element here is the credit card input. So this is what has the credit card number, the expiry date, and the 3-digit thing on the back of the card. So this is the really important part. Without this, you can't take people's money. We do this integrated with Stripe at the moment, and we've got PayPal integration coming out in the near future. If you want to sell via PayPal already, you totally can. We do all the time. You can put the buy links from PayPal really easily onto the page. But for now, like the full integration with the cart system is Stripe and PayPal soon. And taking their credit card details is kind of the key part of how Stripe works. Then we probably want some kind of identifying information. So I'm going to add one more text input for their email. And then obviously we need a submit button. Cool. So first thing we need to do is go into products. And then we need to tell Convertri which product this page sells. So from the drop down, we have the Convertri demo product that we set up just now. Then you can change, this is whatever you want to appear on their credit card statement. So in this case, this is our demo domain. Because we're Architect Labs, by the way. If you see the word Architect anywhere, that's the company name, it's Architect Labs. Then again, this URL is populated because of that arrow that we drew. Then we open up the mappings and we tell it that this is an email box. And then if we want, we can change it. So we'll say your best email. And then, so you are free to design this page however you like. These are kind of the key components you need to put on the page, but you can use text, images, lay it out however you like, drag everything around. That's kind of the point of Convertri, that you're not stuck with a very simple checkout page with a couple of customization options. Your checkout page can look however you like. In this case, I've done a designy demo. I don't think there's much point kind of dragging some more text and images around. But they are the key components. You could now buy that product, well, the fake product I've just created, as soon as I hit publish. So this will be demo checkout page. So that's publishing. So that form is now live on the web. And I could stick my email address, my credit card details, which I'm not going to because I'm live on a webinar, into the boxes. And then when I click submit, the charge would be made and the money would be taken. And that's pretty much all there is to creating a checkout form integrated with Stripe. Probably the other cool thing that I should show you is you can also capture details at the same time. So if you want somebody who buys the product added to an autoresponder, you can come in here. So we can do, I'll use the same list as last time. So just by selecting the list you want them added to, and then making sure you republish. Again, whenever you make a change, it's important that you republish everything. Just saving it doesn't publish your changes. That way you can make changes to your page and only make them live when you want to, but you do need to remember to hit the publish button when you're ready. So now, not only would, if somebody comes to this page, they enter their email, they enter their credit card details and click submit, not only are they purchasing the product for $100, because that's what we set it up to be, their details, or their email address in this case, will be added to that mailing list in SendLane, which you've then got a list of buyers that you can send emails to. Cool. Cool, right, loads of questions. I will start answering the questions that have already been typed in. If you've got more questions, start filling up the question and answer box. I will hang around for ages and answer questions. So let's start with what we've already got. Kelly's asking how you set up your Stripe account. So your Stripe account will give you integration keys. From there, we have a link to go and get them as well. Under integrations and payment processors. Now, these are obviously test keys because I'm not stupid enough to put my live API keys on a webinar, but they will look not dissimilar to this. You copy and paste the two values from Stripe into here and click save, and Stripe is then connected. Keith has asked, is it one checkout page per product, or can you checkout page compile multiple products as a visitor continues to shop? Yes, so it's one checkout page per product, and with the option of a bump sell, so they can add one thing to the order via a ticky box. That's it. We're designed as a funnel builder, not kind of a shopping browsing experience. So you should all of your Convertri pages should be designed to take to persuade somebody to take a specific action. So it's, in the case of the squeeze page I built, you want their email address. In the case of like a sales page, it's you want to buy this. On the checkout page, it's, you know, fill in your details so you can buy that. Anthony's asked about setting a checkbox to say they've accepted the terms. Yeah, let me just go back in here and I will demonstrate. Oh, while I'm doing this, thank you so much. As well as the question, there's so many people saying like it's really user friendly, it's really intuitive. Thank you so much. Like we've spent a lot of time working on this. I really appreciate that. So under form elements, you can have a checkbox. Then the checkbox can be your bump cell if you want, or you can be like check this to accept our terms of service, something like that. And then terms of service would probably be a link, or whatever. Then on this checkbox properties, set it to required, and then they have to tick this box before they can submit it. Really easy integration, really blah blah blah. Yeah, Robert. So you can have there's a couple of options. So we do what we call bump cells, which are a checkbox on the order page, on the checkout page, which will then add to the order on that one. Or there's one-click upsells. So having bought something on checkout page 1, you then say, well, you've just bought that. Would you like to buy this other thing? And you can just have a submit button because you've already got their credit card details from the previous page. And when they click that buy button, they will be charged, which you should make sure you indicate really clearly on your page, because you don't want it to be ambiguous whether they are going to be charged or not, because we already have their credit card details for a one-click upsell. For like a second checkout page, we don't need their details again, so you need to make it clear that it's click that button and you're paying me money. Deborah asks, is the powered by Convertri on every page? It is by default, but you can turn it off both account wide. So the reason we've added it is a lot of our users want to affiliate promote Convertri using their account. So you put your affiliate link for Convertri in here, and then those powered by Convertri things are automatically your affiliate link. If anyone clicks through it, we'll pay you a commission for signing them up. But for a lot of people, like, they don't want that. You know, if you're in the health niche, it makes absolutely no sense to have it on there. So you can turn it off just for your whole account by unticking the box on the affiliate settings screen, or you can do it on a per page level. There's a checky box on there too. I love your system. It's amazing. Brunson Buster, no need for Samcart. Cool. Hi, Christine. I'm going to do, so we're going to do a second one of these at, probably this weekend, probably on Sunday. And I'll be doing a demo of the WordPress plugin then. Suffice to say, it's really simple. You upload the plugin and you basically say, I want to show this Convertri page on my WordPress page here. But it's a really common request, but I don't have a WordPress blog set up to demo that tonight. I'll do that on the next one. Because there's only so much presentation I can do. I'm quite nervous about all this. Hey, Joshua. Great question. So how does the webhook function work when you add a product? So this is a little bit more of an advanced topic. And there's also slightly lacking API guides at the moment. We're updating those hopefully for Tuesday. So you can specify a URL in this box. And what that does is when somebody buys this, we will send information about that purchase to the URL you put in this box. And what that lets you do is integrate third-party software. For example, we're doing a really tight integration with membership site software called Product Dino, which will mean you can set up a product in here that is like protected by Product Dino. And then when they make a purchase of your product, we send the information to Product Dino that creates their account and so on and so forth in that third-party system. but it's not limited to that. You can basically connect up anything that speaks, and we've implemented a very industry standard format. So there's a lot of software out there that Convertri can just talk to. So it's like, when this purchase is made, do a thing in this third-party software. And if you don't know what a webhook is, because you're a bit more of a beginner, don't freak out. It is quite an advanced topic. Don't worry about it. Hey, Mason. So we've got a Shopify widget that you can put on your page to make Shopify product sales. But beyond that, we don't have super amazing Shopify integration at the moment. Elizabeth asks how to add Facebook pixels. Great question. So you can add basically any script you like at multiple levels. So you can add scripts to like every page on a domain by going to edit scripts here. You can go into a domain and then add scripts to every, where is it? There we go, edit scripts for everything in this funnel. And if we go into the funnel itself, inside the page, really should have kept this open in another tab, sorry guys. In the page menu, under custom scripts, you can add your Facebook pixels, your third-party analytics, anything you want in here as well. And then basically the level you add it at, it will add to that script to everything below it. So if you add it to a funnel, it will add it to every page in that funnel. But don't forget to republish after you've done that. Oh, hey, Larry. Larry's asking about retargeting tags. So exactly the same thing as for the Facebook pixels above. Hey, Gail. So Gail asks how to send like an email confirming the purchase. So at the moment, you need to use a third-party autoresponder to send that email. So where I demonstrated how you add them to a mailing list for the checkout page, you would use that autoresponder, that list. The first email would be, thank you for your purchase, here's the receipt kind of email. Oh, hey, Jay's asking, so this is an agency account feature. He says, hopefully this demo account is agency. Yes, it is. So when you click on add page, the bonus agency templates, I kind of have to scroll down a bit, are these ones here under agency templates. These are the ones that will help you get started selling Convertri services to other people. Hey, Anthony's asking how to set up a default homepage for a site. So in the publish box, which you saw, okay, right, I'm not going to make this mistake this time. What we're going to do is we're going to open the editor in another tab so I don't keep coming in and out of it. 2 seconds, guys. Oh, and I'm an idiot. Fine. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that works. Cool. Okay, so when you, let's say we wanted this squeeze page to be the home page for a site. When we click publish, just leave this path box blank. So you see where it says your page will be available at. When I delete that, that's just at the root of the domain. Hey, Larry asks, I assume we can use our own domain name for the funnel. So you can have as many funnels as you want in a site, and a site can have any domain name you want. So when you click on add site here, you can create a subdomain of convertri.com, which we provide for convenience, or you can enter your own domain into the other box, and you can have like as many of each as you want. Oh, hey, Craig, great question. So Craig says, must all elements of the desktop page be included on the mobile, or can things be removed? So yeah, you can have optional ones in either view. So let's say, for example, we wanted to make our page like super low bandwidth and we were going to hide, I'll just hide this one as a for example. So where it says show on, you can toggle on or off. So I could toggle off the mobile version. So because that's now grayed out, that's not on the the mobile version of the page, which is actually a good time to demo something. So when I swap to the mobile, you'll see because we've already made manual edits to this page, it has literally applied the one change, it's removed that image, but it hasn't messed with anything else because you've made manual changes. If you want to regenerate like the automatic version, having made some changes like that, we have the remobilize button, which will take it back to like a default standard generation. And it works the other way around as well if you want to have something on mobile but not on desktop. Hey, Jeff. Jeff asks, where do you host digital products like PDFs? So we recommend you upload them. We don't host them for you yet, but you can. It's super easy to find places to upload them. Probably the easiest and cheapest is Amazon S3, where it's so ridiculously cheap. You'd be hard pushed to spend like $1 with them over the course of several months. They're so cheap, and then like even with some fairly big PDFs or whatever. Yep, sorry, more people coming on late. This is absolutely being recorded. If you missed the start, don't worry about it. We're into the Q&A section, but everything that's already happened has been recorded, and that will be up hopefully tomorrow, as long as the tech all works. Kelso asks, oh, good question. Is it possible to create a countdown timer related to a specific user? Yep, we support that as well. So, whoops. So on the desktop, when you put a countdown timer on the page, you can change the mode it runs in. So fixed mode is running to a specific time of a specific date. Evergreen mode, you're setting the duration you want it to appear for when a new user comes to the page, and it will run from that time for each individual user. So if I go to the page now, let's say we're going to run it for 2 hours. If I go to the page now, it will run for 2 hours. If you come along in an hour's time, it will end for you 2 hours after that. Good question. So Joshua's asked, when you set up a new product, does it automatically set it up inside of Stripe? So we use Stripe purely as a payment processor, and we attach like the message to the charge, but we don't configure, we don't like set up the product in Stripe. We don't set up a product or a subscription or anything. We take the credit card details, we get the Stripe token, and then we tell Stripe, bill this credit card for this amount of money. And Stripe doesn't know what it's for or anything like that. It's just making a charge with a label. And then Convertri has the knowledge of it's a product, it's a recurring bill, it's whatever. Gok asks, can I have a downsell after an upsell? Yep, absolutely. So the easiest way to do that is it's usually just a link off a page to say, when you have like, no thanks, I don't want the shiny blah, 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 whatever it is. And then that no thanks text link is just off to another page in your funnel, which is the downsell. Cool. I said, wow. Okay, I've just scrolled down a bit. Just fair warning, quite a lot of people have asked questions. I'm happy to hang around and answer all of them, but please don't think I'm ignoring you. The list is really long. Hey, Mile. So first of all, several people have like started their questions with, sorry if this is a stupid question or I'm a complete beginner and I'm sorry. Please don't apologize. We all started somewhere. I'm happy to answer whatever you'd like to know about. So don't be concerned. Ask whatever, in inverted commas, stupid question you like. I'm happy to help. Cool. Okay, yeah. So Miles asking how to put a JVZoo buy button on the page. So this is a good time to talk about our custom HTML element. So specifically in this case, for a JVZoo buy button, you copy and paste the little snippet of HTML they give you. Then you drag this HTML image. Oh, we've got one on the page. I've created a second one. Then you click Edit HTML, and the code that they give you drop in this box. And that works for just about any third-party service that gives you a thing that you want to get on Convertri pages. So it's great for video players that we don't directly support. So at the moment we've got YouTube integration, but quite a lot of people use Vimeo. So you just grab the Vimeo embed code, chuck it in this box, As I say, that works for JV2 buy buttons, works for just about anything that where you've got a thing to get on the page that we don't have an element for yet. Hey, Selwyn. Selwyn's asking a great question, and this is probably the first disappointment of the evening. He says, how do you have an option for, say, 5 items, or like a quantity of 5, which is something we don't support yet. It's work in progress. It's definitely something we're going to. But say a drop down to select a quantity or a variant, or radio buttons for the same, you can't yet do that on Convertri pages, which makes us a little bit limited for e-com style offers. But it's definitely something we're working on. Hey, Jez. Yeah, we provide Stripe as a payment option at the moment. PayPal coming soon. I should note you can already get other carts, other payment processors, whatever, onto Convertri pages really easily in exactly the same way I've just demonstrated. It's purely like Stripe and soon PayPal if you want to use the Convertri product system. But if you've got some other thing, prime example being just a PayPal buy link, that is super easy to get onto a Convertri page. Oh yeah, great. So Nobby's asking a great question, saying like, what if there's kind of two ways to pay for the same thing? In his example, say a one-time payment of $9.97 or monthly for $47. So for that, what you'd do is you'd have a single sales page with 2 buy buttons. So it's, you can imagine on the page we've got like, pay monthly, pay once, and then you have a separate checkout page for each of those options. So it would be the same product would be listed as 2 separate products in Convertri with the different payment terms. And then you'd have 2 buy links, one going to each of the checkout pages set up for the different payment terms. Cool. Yeah. So pretty much the same answer for you, Rob. We're saying, can you have 2 prices on the checkout page? So you wouldn't put the 2 different prices on the checkout page. You'd have 2 different prices, 2 different buy buttons on a sales page, and then create separate checkout pages for each. Ken, you've made my day. Says, this is awesome. Coming from ClickFunnels, this is way better. Thank you very much. Kelly's asking if Convertri has plans to have a membership site with digital content. Maybe at some point in the future, but honestly, there are so many good solutions out there for it already, where we've got other plans first, and we're going to provide really like tight integrations with a bunch of other services, starting with Product Dino is like kind of our like starting point of choice for that. Hey, Khan. So Khan's asking how to do a 2-step opt-in demo. So that's I'm going to cover that in the next section. It's not particularly hard. Like one of the things I'm going to talk about in more detail in the next one of these webinars is our concept of layers and how to use them to create like sticky headers and 2-step opt-ins and all of that good stuff. But I need a bit. I'll do a bit more prep time before I try and present more stuff, if you don't mind. Rick asks, can like terms links open in a new tab? Yeah, so any link, there's a ticky box to say open this in a new tab for any link you put on the page. Yeah, it affects several people asking about that. So yeah, you can easily create your own terms of service page and then just put a link to it on your pages. Susan's asked if we integrate with JVZoo or Warrior Plus. So it depends kind of what you mean by integrate, but it's super easy to get their buy buttons onto our pages via the custom HTML widget. Cool. So Sandy's asked about like product delivery. I think I've addressed that in the other answers, Sandy. If I haven't, please do feel free to elaborate, and I'm happy to talk about it. I think I've covered it. sorry, this is the problem where loads of people have asked questions, and I never know if I've covered it or not when it's been asked. Asked kind of a little way back in the chat. We don't have any samples of terms and rules as yet. We've been talking to a legal firm to produce like kind of a stock one that you guys can use, and they keep telling us that we shouldn't do that because we could get into legal trouble. But honestly, there's quite a lot of like terms of service, like content generators that you can like copy and paste into Convertri if you want to. If you just do a Google search for that. So connecting autoresponders that aren't in the list. So under forms. So I'm just going to disconnect the service I've already set up for a moment. So we'll clear that. Then the classic form integration is, so if your autoresponder, your webinar system, whatever else it is, isn't listed in our like API integrations, you can copy and paste code. You can go create a new form from HTML code and then copy and paste the code your autoresponder gives you to get it onto the Convertri page. And that will let you use the like Convertri editor to lay out the form. Or you can again use the custom HTML thing. So if you like how your how it looks the way your autoresponder has given it to you, and you just literally want it as is, copy and paste it into the edit HTML box, and your form will work on your Convertri page. DMar is asking how to do like a content reveal. So this is possibly a slightly advanced topic that I might need to do a more specific demo. But to touch on it briefly, we have what we call triggers and behaviors. So you can have a page trigger. So after a certain amount of time, we want, so this would be like, let's say you want it to happen after 120 seconds, so 2 minutes in, we want to show, and then you'd select. At the moment, there's nothing on this page that's been named or a layer or whatever. But you'd set it up to do. I'll talk more in detail about this on the next webinar. But just to give you a rough idea, it's like, so after 120 seconds, I want to show, and then the thing that you want to show. Hey, Mark. So Mark's asked, when somebody purchases a product using Stripe, do I receive their contact information, or do I need to set up a different page to collect that to build your list? So as long as you configure an autoresponder on the checkout page, we will send their purchase details to that autoresponder as well. And in fact, you can set up multiple ones as well. So if you wanted to, you could send it to 2 autoresponders. You could send it to an autoresponder and add them to a webinar and get them to make a purchase. It can go wherever you like. Thank you, Deborah. Deborah says this is so wonderful. Thank you. That's awesome. Hey, Linda. So Linda's asking if you can design menus that stay fixed on the page as the user scrolls down. Yes, you can. That's what we call sticky headers. We'll do like layers and like sticky headers and 2-step opt-ins and whatever on the next webinar, like specifically how to do it. But if the question is purely, will I be able to? Yes, you will. Oh, thank you, Susan. Susan says I'm doing such a great job. This is, I'm as you've probably noticed by now, I'm a lot more chilled out doing Q&A than I am doing presentations. Kind of when I'm doing Q&A, like the questions are like permission to talk to people, whereas when I'm doing presentations, I'm a little bit like, oh, I don't know if they're listening, I don't know if they're interested. I mean, clearly, 180 people showed up on a Thursday to come and listen to me talk. Clearly, you're interested, but I don't know. I'm just a bit more chilled out during the Q&A. Hey Jeffrey. Jeffrey's asking about plans to integrate with Shopify. So yeah, I don't have our test Shopify account set up on here, so can't demo the widget today. But we have like a Shopify buy widget you can get onto your Convertri pages. If you're after like something more specific, I'd love to know kind of what you're looking to achieve. Hey Rick, so the powered by Convertri badge, you can either turn it off for like the whole account, or you can turn it off for specific pages. It's kind of up to you. So it's like you can set on or off as the default for your account, and then override it on a per page basis. So what's quite common for people to do is some people just do tons of stuff in the internet marketing niche, and they want to promote the hell out of Convertri, try and make as many commissions as possible. So they have it turned on for their account. And then for their handful of pages they have in maybe like, in our case, the vegan niche, you turn it off for those. For a bunch of people, it could work the other way around, that maybe most of the stuff you do is not related to internet marketing. You're not interested in promoting Convertri, but you have a handful of people that you want to send to a page about it. So you just turn the powered by on for those few pages. You can have it work whichever way around. Hey, Alex, could you please illustrate a webinar funnel with Webinar Geo? Yeah, so I will, I'll kind of do like half a demo if you'll forgive me today. So under forms, you have loading. Sorry, forgive this. My computer does not like streaming and doing demos. So under Webinar Geo, sorry, I haven't actually integrated my account at the moment. So you'd select, this would present you with a list of webinars, and then you can tell it, like, I want to add people that fill out this form to this webinar. And then that adds them via the API when they fill out the form. And then you can also create like your replay pages with Convertri and so on. Cool, like people excited about the, sorry, I can tell like how far behind I am. So the timestamps on the questions I'm answering are 7:40, and we're now at 2 minutes past 8. Just to give you some idea of like, I'm working through them as quickly as I can, but I'm seeing people getting excited about product Dino that I talked about 20 minutes ago. Sorry, guys. Yes, so hey Kelly. So Kelly asks, how do you set up the file download that is offered on the Squeeze page? So we don't deliver the files ourselves, but you can create a download page on Convertri and then have a link off to some other like big file storage thing. We recommend Amazon S3 because it's pretty cheap and easy, but there's quite a lot of services. Hey, Christian. Christian's asking about WooCommerce integration. WooCommerce isn't something I know much about at all. I'm not entirely sure what integration with it would look like. So we don't have it at the moment. That's definitely true. If you could tell me a bit more about like kind of what you'd want to achieve, I'd be interested to know. Sorry, 2 seconds. I just need a quick swig of water. Cool. Can I have multiple autoresponder lists in a standard account? If not, how can I upgrade? Hey, Dave. Yeah, you can have multiple. So you can integrate one autoresponder account per service in a standard account, and you can connect pages to as many lists on each of those autoresponders as you like. If you wanted to have, for example, 2 MailChimp accounts, then you'd need the agency version. But from the way you've phrased your question, I don't think you'd need that. Hey, Laurie asked about Amazon integration. We don't have any specific Amazon integration. I'm not really sure what we would integrate. If you could let me know like what you'd like to achieve, I can let you know what our plans are in that regard. Hey, Steve. Steve asks, this is a really good question. So other than Product Dino, are there any other membership solutions that you're currently 100% compatible with using the webhook? So the answer at the moment is I'm not 100% sure any of them work. We are literally like going through all of them this week, next week, seeing what works, what doesn't, and then reaching out to the various vendors to get it working. I was talking to the developers of Product Dino literally 4 hours ago. Working with them, they are definitely on board and setting it up. So that'll be a really tight integration and will work. And then we'll move on to the other guys. We publish in a really standard format, so it's not going to take long. Cool, thanks, Craig. Great question, Sharon. Thank you very much. Sharon says, how do I copy my pages that I previously created in ClickFunnels into Convertri? So for that, you can use our page importer. So in here, we'll go into the site, and then on a funnel, not on the site, on a funnel, you click on import page, and then under here, import for an external URL, put the URL of the page you want to import, check the box, give it a name, and click OK. And then please note, so that's doing it one page at a time. You can't point it at an entire funnel. You will need to bring one page over at a time, but that's how you import that. Hey, Larry's asking about a design studio for doing mock-ups of things like 3D book covers. That's not something we're planning to support anytime soon. You would need third-party software for that. Anyways, nope, sorry. Mason's asking if there's any chance of getting onto agency or pro for a one-time payment, not a subscription. Nope, there are no one-time payments anymore. We did that once very briefly a long time ago, and that's not something we do. We are a subscription business because you guys want us to be in business next year as much as we do. Hey, David. Okay, so a good question, and apologies, a slightly disappointing answer. Talking about multilingual pages. So you can just about do foreign languages in Convertri, but you have to copy and paste any like foreign characters into the Convertri text editor to get them to publish. You can't just type them on your keyboard, which can be quite frustrating. So apologies for that. Yep. Sorry, more people that joined late. No worries. Absolutely been recorded. You can watch the demo at leisure. Should be published. Tomorrow. Hey, Fred. Fred's asking how many templates are in the system. That is a good question. And the truthful answer is I don't know an actual number. The answer's a lot, though. So all of these ones you see at the top here are in the standard version. All of these ones, 404s, checkout templates, each of these funnel templates, down to here. Then the agency template is obviously an agency only. And Template Club is in Pro and Agency, which is all of these long list. Lots of niches, lots of different styles, lots of different page types. I don't actually know how many that is, but it's a lot. Hey, good question. So Khan asks, is there a way for it to have a shared menu item across many pages to create multiple static pages on a site? So you can clone a group of elements from one page to another, but you can't share it. So the point is you could create it once, share it to the other pages, so you've only got to build it once. But you, at the moment, it is something we're working on. You can't have a header that you edit once and then it republishes on, say, all 5 pages on a site. That's not something we support yet. Hey, Kim's asking about templates for full web homepages, not just landing pages. Pretty much all of our templates are landing page styles rather than sort of like web page styles. We're definitely more geared towards landing pages and funnels than we are kind of just web pages. Hey, Gail, great question. So Gail asks, are all Convertri subdomains and her own domains secured with SSL? Yep, absolutely. We provide free SSL for anything you add to Convertri, both the convertri.com subdomains and your own custom domains. You do have to click one button per domain just to activate the SSL, but we provide that. Hey, Steve. So Steve asks how to connect a custom subdomain. So you want to create a CNAME to custom.convertri.com. And there are guides on how to do that at help.convertri.com. So in fact, I can show you. wow, I wish I could type. Help.convertri.com in our knowledge base, and under domains and hosting, there's a bunch of stuff about how to create a CNAME in their DNS managers. This is probably one of the most annoying steps you're going to have to go through, but thankfully you only have to go through it once. Hey Keith. Keith's asking if you can delete subdomains on Convertri or just archive them. You can only archive any domain you've added, purely because we had some issues where people early on, even though we have the confirmation box, it's like, are you sure you want to delete this? And people click yes, and they deleted their entire sites, and then they whinged at us via support. So we let you delete. You can wipe out an entire funnel in one go if you want, but at the site level, it's archive only, just because we got really upset receiving that support request. Hey Elizabeth. Elizabeth's asking when we'll have the PayPal integration. So you can already put PayPal buy buttons on your pages just by using their buy links. We do that all the time. I can't give you an exact estimate on when PayPal as a payment processor with the forms will come out. Sorry. I'm really sorry, Jerry. Jerry's question was, could you spell that? And it was asked 20 minutes ago. More than 20. I'm really sorry. Apologies for that. Hey Deborah, yeah. So the service for storing big files like PDFs or videos or whatever you want to deliver is called Amazon S3. Amazon S3. That's the thing you're searching for, and they have I won't do a guide for it now, just because they have tons of documents for. You sign up for an AWS account, that's Amazon Web Services, and then it's pretty much just dragging files into the browser to upload it. Hey Kim, yep. So Kim's asking if you can move stuff around, like the background image on the mobile version. Yep. So you've got the same freeform editing in mobile. In fact, I can show you. Let's clear out this junk that I've been adding. So in the mobile, if you want to move stuff around, this text or this panel, or we wants to move the image around, we can do whatever we like with it. In fact, so you can't. You'd need to fiddle with it a little bit. It would need to not be full width, and then you'd have to change what the image looks like to do specifically that. But yeah, you've got the same freeformness in the mobile view. Hey Paul, no worries. Paul says it doesn't get what all the terms mean. If you've got any questions, what any term, acronym, whatever means. Sorry, OCD, had to fix that. See, that's why I don't have the question and answer box open when I do presentations, because I'm forced to fix things. Oh, I see. I made the text box full width rather than the image. That's what I broke. Sorry, right. So if you have any questions, what an acronym means, what a term means, anything like that, please feel free to type in a question. I'm happy to tell you. Yep, Joshua, you can move things to. Ha! Did we lose that? I will slap the. No, you're totally right, Joshua. So Joshua's right. On the old version of this UI, there was a way to move a set of elements onto another layer, not just clone it, which appears not to be here. Well, I use this like every day, and somehow I'd not noticed that. Yes, that's true, and I'll get that fixed. Sorry. Hey, Vaughan asks, is there a way in the checkout to provide shipping costs or data? Not at the moment. That's, again, so we've got kind of like a package of ecom features we're planning on rolling out. And so stuff like as the like product variants I mentioned, like shipping data is another good one. So both like shipping costs and capturing a delivery address separate from a billing address. Those are all kind of like in a thing we need to. Wow, I'm losing it a bit. Sorry, guys. It's very warm in my office. So yeah, that ecom package that we're planning to roll out, we're working on at the moment. That pack of functionality. Hey, Christian. So importing a page into. In fact, sorry, you probably asked kind of before I answered this before, but I will do it again because it's one of my favorite features. So on the funnel, click on import page, and then stick the URL of your ClickFunnels page or pretty much any page on the web into that box, and then you'll be able to import it into Convertri. Hey, Andrew. So Andrew asks if countdown timers stay in sync across all devices. So no, they are currently only cookie based. So if somebody opens an email and goes to a page through, say, their phone, and then they come to it on the desktop, they will see a different countdown. Hey, Orlando. Yeah, so you can do, Orlando's asking about two-step order forms. So you can do two-step order forms where you capture like a bunch of details on, say, one layer and then another bunch of details on the second. The only bit we don't yet support is submitting the first set of details after they click on the first layer. We don't have that yet. Scott's asking if you can have like additional inputs from the customer. So on the checkout page, Scott, you can have any of the form fields. So you could go like form field, text input, and then this would be name. And then when we in the form field, oh sorry, I've cleared the product. But then when you map it, you would say that this is the box to capture their name. So you can capture quite a lot of information on there. Christian asks, when the timer ends, can you send them to another page? Yep, absolutely. There's a bunch of options. So you can have it like do nothing, hide the timer, send them to another page. There's quite a lot of flexibility with that. Alex asks, any conceptual problems integrating with PayPal, or is it coming? Yep, so integrating with PayPal, so you can already put buy links on the page, and full integration with our product system is on its way. Hey, Deborah asks, where are the pages hosted? So our pages are hosted on our own content delivery network, which mostly serves pages off a data center on the east coast of the United States. That tends to be the hub that most will hit. But we use a variety of both Amazon's web services and Google's, because on their own they weren't good enough to do what we wanted. For 99% of people, you shouldn't need to worry about that. It is something we take care of in its entirety. It is enough that you publish your page, and then it is served via Convertri. Hey, Sani. So it says, sorry, she was asked where digital products get shipped from. Was interrupted by a phone call. I have already answered it, but don't worry. So we integrate with a bunch of third-party services, such as Product Dino, if you want to do like fully protected download pages or membership sites. And if you just want to deliver a PDF, for example, you can create a download page in Convertri and then upload the file to a service such as Amazon S3, where they will download it from. Hey Kelso, I'm not quite sure what you mean by decision elements. So you can create links from as many links on a Convertri page as you like. So if you're asking like, you want to ask them a question like, are you male or female, and then send them to a different page depending on what they click on, that's purely just a link. Hey Mary, yep. So retargeting pixels can go. You can do them you can apply them to a whole site. You can apply them to a whole funnel, or on an individual page under custom scripts. Chuck them in there. That's true of like retargeting pixels, like Facebook stuff, third-party analytics, any of that stuff. Hey Eric, yep. So the same thing I just said. Sorry. Hey, Laurie asks, are you going to add an option to upload a video not on YouTube or Vimeo? So you can bring videos in like any third-party system you like via the custom HTML element, and then whatever the third-party service you use, you can use their player and their embed, but we don't host videos for you. Hey, Deborah. So Deborah's asking, what if you want to move one thing but not another in a container? So you can move stuff moves. Sorry, this page is getting a bit jumbled now. By default, anything that's inside a thing will move together. But if you need to drag the background thing out, you can hold down either the Windows key or CMD on Mac, and then that lets you pull something out from behind without it moving together. So what you're not seeing is I'm holding down the CMD key on my keyboard. Jay's asked about Convertri integration with a member. We publish a webhook that their software should understand, but we have not tested it yet. We're working through as many services as we can, testing them at the moment. Hey, Elizabeth says, do you have an integrated box for clicking through to Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest? Do you mean like share buttons and so on? If so, we don't have a specific widget, but you can bring their buttons in really easily with the custom HTML element. Joshua asks how refunds of purchases through Convertri are handled. You need to do that through Stripe at the moment. That's something that's going to be fixed. Hey, Jen. Jen says hasn't used Convertri for a while, but had previous issues with text editing being buggy. If the symptoms you've described suggest that you have Grammarly turned on, Convertri doesn't play well with Grammarly for reasons I won't bore you with. If you turn the Grammarly extension off when you're using Convertri, the text editing will work fine, and sorry about that. Hey, Eric. So at the moment, know that when they turn on the order bump, there's no like automatically updating order total, and we don't generate a receipt. We recommend you do that using whatever autoresponder you use to capture their details. Yeah, that's right, Greg. If the autoresponder you use isn't on the list, then use our like classic HTML forms, and you bring in just about anything. Thanks, Laurie. So it's so much better than unbounce or lead pages as well. I'm glad you think so. Thank you. You're very welcome, Wild. Glad I could answer your question. Hey, Deborah asks, is there a tracking dashboard? So this is something that's a little bit painful to me. So what not a lot of people know is we have a ridiculously cutting-edge analytics system running under the hood on Convertri. So every page load, we store tons of data about. So we know like where in the world they were, the browser they used to view the page, like the time of day. We know the device they use. We know absolutely tons of stuff about it. And at the moment, the only details we show are these page counts at the moment, but all of that data is stored, and we really need to get a chance to expose the analytics data because there's tons of it and it's amazing. And we turned all this on. It costs us a small fortune to run the analytics service. So we run it ourselves, but the company that produce it want $5,000 a month to run it. And we turned this on January at the start of this year, and we've been running it ourselves. We run all the servers for it, which is still a small fortune. And we possibly turned it on a bit soon because using that for page view counts is a little bit overkill. But all that data is there, and I can't wait to expose it. Hey, Daniel. Daniel asks, as far as multiple items wanted, could that be done through PayPal and import HTML into your page? Yep, absolutely. If you want to do stuff like that, you can absolutely bring just about any third-party stuff like that into a page. Joshua asks if we're integrating with Everlesson. Yep, definitely. So in theory, the webhook already works because it's the JVZoo ClickBank kind of industry standard format, but we haven't confirmed that yet. So please, if you go away and try it and it doesn't work, don't hold it against me. I'm talking to them hopefully next week to make sure it works. Hey Tara, how you doing? Tara's been super active in our Facebook group. She's asking, can she come and visit the offices when she's over in London? You're more than welcome to come and visit me in London. But I should tell you, we don't actually have Convertri offices. We are an entirely virtual distributed team. So there's 15, 16 of us working in the company, and we all work from our home offices. There's myself and Neil, who happen to live around the corner from each other in London. Other than that, we've got a guy up in Birmingham, our head of sports in South Africa, the design teams in the Philippines. We've got 2 developers in Poland, 1 in Russia. Our animators also in the Philippines. Our project manager, Josh, is in the States, and we're all entirely distributed. So you're more than welcome to come to London, and we'll come and say hi. But there isn't actually an office you can come and see, which is quite rare. Hey, Greg. Yep. No problem. We're absolutely recording it. Hopefully the recording will be available tomorrow. Hey, Christian's asking about things like wobbles and animations and so on. That's not something we support at the moment. Selwyn's asking how to overwrite trial pages he's made while practicing. Does he delete them first? So if you, on any page, he says going into the editor, anything that is published already, have I published this one? Maybe not. This one, there is, anyway, there's an unpublished option, or you can just, if you delete the page, it will go away. Pretty much whatever you do, you will be fine, or just leave them there. It really won't matter. So Greg's asked, is it possible to select a font size other than what's offered in the drop-down menu? Nope, sorry. At the moment, that's you're limited to what's in that drop-down. John Mark asks, is the 7 nutrients book actually available? Yep, yeah, that's actually a guide we wrote up after doing some research. None of us are actually vegans. It's just a market that we happen to explore. But the 7 nutrients book is something this is a real funnel. These pages you're looking at are things we've actually built and tested and we run traffic to, and that book is real. And if you'd like a copy of the 7 nutrients book, ping us an email to support@convertri.com and we'll send it to you. Hey, Steve. So Steve asks, any suggestions for the best way to host terms of service privacy for each funnel? Yeah, so what most people do, so there's kind of 2 ways to handle it. One is just make a single terms of service privacy policy, publish it somewhere, and then link to the same page from everywhere. Or if you need to make copies of it because there's individual details you need to change, then you can use the clone option on the page drop down to create a copy of it. And then, so you basically go clone and then move it to the new funnel. That's kind of the fastest way to do that. Hey, Anthony asks, is there a default page for a domain like something.convertri.com, or do you need to send everyone to a page I created in Convertri? So there's no default page. By default, every URL in Convertri will just present our standard 404 message. Then you just publish whatever you like, wherever you like, which can include just specifying no path, and then that will show up. So if you are anthony.convertri.com, if you leave the path blank, then it would just be anthony.convertri.com, no path. That page would appear there. Kelly asks, you had an opt-in page and an order page, so do they have to enter their email twice? Yep, at the moment, it doesn't carry that information down the funnel with them. You have like an order form, and they specify it a second time. Deborah says, can we build a list even if we aren't charging for a product, if it's a free product? Yep, absolutely. So that's basically the first page I built. So this one, so here we're giving away this 7 nutrients ebook. They enter their email address and we give them the book, and then we get their email address. That's how we build our list. Hey, Lydia. Lydia says, Convertri is outstanding. Thank you very much. Hey, Ben. Yeah, great question. So our text editor isn't compatible with like the built-in browser spell checking. So if you are doing like big lumps of text and you need it checked, we do suggest like putting it into an app like Word and then copy pasting it into Convertri. Hey, Bob says, a lot of stuff coming on next webinar. When's it planned? I'm planning to run it on Sunday. I'll probably do it kind of maybe 3 p.m. In the afternoon. Emails will go out tomorrow to let you know. And it will, of course, be recorded. Wow, sorry, I'm starting to lose it a bit. It's been 90 minutes and there's lots of questions still to go. So yeah, we'll do the next one on Sunday, and we will cover the WordPress plugin and layers, triggers, actions, stuff like that. Hey, Jeff. Jeff's one of our marketing partners, and he's shown up on the call, and he says, quit being critical of yourself. Don't make me come over there. I should be more critical, Jeff, because we want you to come and visit in London, and then I can take you out for beers. Hey, Kant asks, is there a way to create a video series funnel for video sequence and the system remember which videos they've already seen and take him to the next one in the series? You can't do that specifically. So one of the reasons Convertri pages load so fast is it doesn't do anything. It doesn't figure anything out before it loads the page. So it won't go, what videos have they already seen? Okay, I'll show them these ones. It will just show them a page. But what you can do is create 4 very similar pages. One with 1 video showing, one with 2 videos showing, one with 3 videos showing, and then you send them an email out linking to each page in turn. Or you can have the 4 variants and then you publish one on top of the other if you're running the sequence that way. Hey, Joe's asks, can we build navigation bars for different pages? Yep. So we could, for example, use this bar at the top, and it's simply a case of dropping a text link in here. Make it visible, like so, and then we could make that text a link to another page in the funnel, have multiple ones of them, and so on. And if we were creating a navigation bar, we want to repeat it on other pages, we can use the clone functionality, so we can clone the element to another page, and then that will be repeated on that page as well. Oh, thanks, Steve. Steve says, seriously, don't need to worry about your presentation skills. Spot on, good pace and clear instruction. Thank you very much, mate. You've absolutely made my evening. Okay, fair warning on the Q&A, guys. We're 90 minutes in. The time is 8:34, and I'm currently answering questions from 1 minute past 8. So if you guys are still answering questions, I'm happy to keep going, but I am apologizing that there are tons to answer, and it may be a little bit frustrating if you ask a question that I don't actually answer for like 20, 30 minutes. Sorry. Rolando asks, are you planning to integrate Demio? It's a great platform. We already have integrated Demio under forms in webinars. The Demio option is already there. Hey, Spence, must have missed this. Assume it's simple if I want to copy this page and or header footer to use for another page. Is there a way to clone copy it? Yeah. So possibly you saw it before. So from the drop down menu, you can clone it, and then you move the clone to the other funnel if you needed to move it somewhere else. So nice and easy. Hey, you got asked how can you join the Convertri affiliate program? We are listed on JVZoo at the moment, although we are working on our own affiliate system. But for now, you'll need to go to jvzoo.com. Thanks, Joshua. He likes making me nervous. Says, just wait till you have 25,000 and you routinely have 1 to 2,000 people on your webbies. Yeah, I think I'll stick with the 100 to 200 for now. This was stressful enough. Thanks. Anything else is a way to zoom out of a Convertri design? Nope, that's not something we support at the moment. Sorry. Deborah asks, how many funnels or campaigns can you create? So under profile, you will have usage limits, and it will show you how many funnels and pages you are allowed and have used, and how many page impressions you are allowed and have used under there. Andrew asks, will Webinar Jam be added? Yeah, absolutely. Charlie's also asked the same question next to it. Hey guys, yeah, we'll absolutely integrate Webinar Jam. I was mistaken. I previously thought the Webinar Jam didn't have an API, but I've been recently sent documentation for it. Yes, that's absolutely something we'll integrate. Hey Kelly, sorry. Okay, so Kelly says, please show the setup for it. Apologies. Whatever the thing was, can you repeat this? Like, I'm happy to happy to show you. Or were we talking about Amazon S3? Because I'm going to refer you to their documentation because it's pretty easy. Or maybe referring to something else. Sorry, it was a little while ago. Please, yeah, sorry guys. So if you ask a follow-up thing to something we were talking about, I'm not going to get back to it for quite a while. There's so many questions in the list, so please put some context into what you're asking me, so I know what it's about. Sorry. Hey Rolando, I won't do a demonstration of integrating Product Dino tonight because I'm working with the developers over the next few days to make sure it works as smoothly and easily as possible. Once I know that's like absolutely sorted, we'll do more of these. Perry asks, how can you connect Active Campaign without upgrading to a pro account? So you can use our form integration if that's what you want. So under forms, you can use a classic form. So you need to copy and paste a form out of Active Campaign into there, and then you can add people on to that. Kevin asks, will the PayPal integration be ready for Christmas? I don't know. We don't tend to give forecasts of exactly when stuff will be rolled out because historically we are wrong and it disappoints people. Deborah said, do you need to buy Amazon S3 in order to store files for download? Technically, yes, but it's ridiculously cheap. If you use Amazon S3 to deliver your PDFs, it will probably cost you they charge you for the amount of downloads you make, and it's tiny fractions of pennies. So if you spent more than $1 a month on it, I would be amazed. Kelsey asks, how can you configure a link to redirect a user to a page or another based on his behavior? That's not really something we support at the moment, I'm afraid. Sorry. Yep, Rolando says there's a great cart called Thrive Cart, which is great has a bunch of upsells and other things. Yep, and you can definitely, if you wanted to, put Thrivecart stuff on Convertri pages using our custom HTML, or just create a Thrivecart checkout page and link through to that if that's what you wanted to do. Yeah, sorry guys. Perry says he's paid for the pleasure. I'm super glad, and I can't remember what we were talking about when you would have said that. Sorry, mate. Hey Jim, great to have you here. Jim Frigney is one of our earliest adopters and Convertri MVP evangelists. He does super cool things with it, and come on to check out the onboarding. It's great to have you with us, Jim. Hey, Larry. Larry asks, if you import one page at a time, how do you get them into the same funnel? So when you click on, so coming into sites, and then clicking on the site, then so you're clicking on import page on a specific funnel, and then it's going to import that page into that funnel. So you click on the same import page button for the same funnel, and then all of the imported pages go into the same funnel. Sharon asks, can you upload from Usign or another design platform? Yep, we have Usign integration already. You need to specify your API key in Convertri, and then we can drag and drop. Then you can just drag and drop your Usign designs straight onto Convertri pages. Hey, Steve. That's quite techie, so I'm just going to say yes. That's a cool idea. I agree. Hey, someone says, how can I copy an element such as a menu button from one page to another? So in the editor, when you select something, so let's say we wanted this whole panel with its contents on another page, from the clone menu, click the drop down, and then you say clone element to another page, and then that will clone not just the panel selected, but everything inside of it as well. Good question, Steve. So Steve says, I just bought the $297 for 12-month package and upgraded to Pro for $37 a month. After 12 months, what will I be paying? As long as you've upgraded to Pro to $37 a month already, you just get to keep Convertri at the Pro level for $37 a month. There's no other charges. Lydia asks, can you repeat the language issue? Will there ever be right to left? We don't have any plans to support right to left languages at the moment. It messes with our layout system quite a bit. Sorry. Clement says, can I create a web page similar to the Convertri page select template, but in each case, each template would be a product or service to choose, and when you click it, it redirects to the checkout page. Yes, so it's worth noting that you would need a separate checkout page for each product that you want to sell, and then the image or whatever you have on your page, each image would then be a link to the specific checkout page for that product. Remember, we're not really designed to be like a browse around, pick your thing. We are a better funnel builder than we are a store. Sorry, guys, water time. Fred asks, can you add your own subdomain to the host to host the landing page, or does it have to be on the root domain? No, you can host it on whatever subdomain you like. That's no problem at all. In fact, it's very common. Like a lot of people will have like a blog, for example, on www.theirdomain.com, and then they'll create like offers.theirdomain.com or landers.theirdomain.com where they put their Convertri funnels on that. Hey, Orlando says, where do we see how many sites we have? I mean, at the moment, there's just the list of them here, but we don't put a limit on how many sites. So we don't tell you how many there are in the list. Alex says, you have a fantastic product. Wishing you all the best growing your company. Thank you very much, Alex. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Steve. So Steve knows he's talking techie now. So again, I will agree with you, but I won't share those ones with the rest of everyone. Daniel asks, when moving a domain over, what happens when the renewal happens? So I presume you're talking about the domain renewal, not like a Convertri renewal. So we're not a domain registrar. You point your domain to us using another registrar. So GoDaddy, as a for example, your domain would still be registered with them. You just tell it that we're hosting it, but you still pay them for the domain. Hey, Perry. Perry asked, is this live at 13 minutes past 8, and it's now 45 minutes past 8. So this really is live. I really am here sat doing this presentation. But I'm willing to bet you've probably left by now, assuming that you were listening to the recording. Sorry. I hope you see this in the recording or something, so you know I was actually here. Kelly asks, do we work with Dropbox? So we don't have any specific integration, but there's no reason not to, well, sorry. You can, for delivering, say, a report to a few people, you can use a Dropbox share link, but it is against Dropbox terms of service to use them as like a file delivery service. It's designed for like personal sharing only. So I would recommend against using them that way. Deborah also asked the same question, so yes, same answer. Lydia asks, how do you rotate an object? You currently can't in Convertri, sorry. Rotation is one of the last bastions of freeform that we're yet to conquer. Hey, so someone says, is there an article on the relationship between the names of funnels I've set up, the name that appears at the top of the edit page and the publish name, and the name that appears on the view page? So the name of the funnel does nothing. That's purely for your own records. The what's in the address bar is what you specify when you click publish, obviously combined to what domain you publish it to. And what appears at the top of the publish page, you can edit in meta info, so under page title. So if you wanted to change it to something at the top, so this would be like answer for Selwyn, and then that's what would appear in the top. I'm pointing at the moment, just so you know how much of an idiot I am. I'm currently pointing to my browser on a webinar. So that would appear at the top of the browser in the tab. Elizabeth asks, can you clone a funnel? Yes, Elizabeth, you can. So you can clone funnels both in your own account. So let's say we were cloning the vegan one I built. So from the drop-down list, you can just clone the entire funnel if you're cloning it within your own account, or you can create a share code, which that's generating now. And so you can send that link or that code to somebody else with a Convertri account, and that lets them import the funnel into their account without them having to recreate it. Joshua says, you rock, Andy. Thank you very much, Joshua. I love you too. Hey, Jim. Yes, Jim says, didn't lose the clone. When you select clone from the drop-down menu, it lets you pick between page or layer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had the ability to like move it to a different layer, not clone it as well. But I'm pretty sure we have lost. Joshua's right on that one. Linda asks, can you export pages outside Convertri? Sort of. So we have two sort of export options. One is the WordPress plugin, which lets you display a Convertri page on your WordPress blog. The other is an HTML export, which lets you upload the file to basically any host. But I should note that exporting pages that way, either way, whether it's the WordPress plugin or the HTML file, all that's doing is creating what's called an iframe. So the page itself is still loaded from the Convertri servers. That's how we achieve the page speed. Hey, Perry. Perry said he's been here since 3, but it's only Q&A. How come? That's because the presentation was at 2. Sorry. Christian says, I run webinar registration pages that end after a set time. Can I do this so when the timer ends, that page is no longer available? Yeah, so you put a countdown timer on the page, and then you can set it to redirect somewhere else after the timer expires. So if somebody shows up after that point, the timer's already expired, and we'll just redirect them straight away. Hey, Garfield. Garfield asks about importing products and integration with other e-com platforms. At the moment, importing stuff isn't, so importing products and e-com integrations is something we're very weak on, and it's something we're fleshing out at the moment. Hey, Daniel from Florida. Great to have you on the call. Kelso asks, is timer also... instantly, by the way, I'm terrible at pronouncing names. If I'm pronouncing anyone's name wrong here, I'm really sorry, all right? I feel really bad about it. Does the timer also do cookie-based? Yep, so you can make it evergreen as well. So on a countdown timer, here in the element properties, you can select the mode. So fixed is running to a specific date and time, which is the same for everyone. If you set to evergreen, then that will be based on a cookie. So you say, I want it to expire, say, 2 hours and 37 minutes. Pro tip, guys, if you are doing this evergreen timer thing, set it to some like quite random amount, and then it looks more real than if that you give them specifically 2 hours. And then that's cookied, so if they come to the page, go away and come back to it, then the countdown timer will continue from where it left off. Andy Ross, thanks for the reply. Our countdown time is not syncing across all user devices, so can you integrate a third-party service for it, linking via Zapier? I presume you can. I've not actually done it. Sorry. Hey Dave. Dave says, when will you be able to type in hex codes? Yeah, so this is the embarrassing part of the webinar. So this is a mistake I made very early on in the technical design of Convertri, where something that looks incredibly simple is actually a real pain for us. So where we've got some text like this, and I highlight it, it would be lovely if you could click in here and edit the hex code, or when we open this up, if you could edit it here. But because of the way Convertri is set up, and because browsers don't support multiple text selection, if we let you type a hex code into this box, it would lose the selection of the word read, and then it wouldn't know what text to edit. So if you need to type in a specific hex code for text, you need to, say, drop a panel on the page, go in and change the background color, type in the hex code here, and then when you go back and select the text, you'll be able to pick whatever you've already typed in from the recently used ones. It's incredibly frustrating, and I'm very sorry for that mistake that I made. At some point, we will unpick the editor and fix that, but it's quite a lot of work. Sorry. Jerry says, do you host, or does he need to find a host? We host absolutely everything for you, with the exception of videos and large files that you want your users to be able to download. Larry says, are you going to get us a discount deal on Product Dino? Yep, absolutely. That's the plan anyway. I was talking to them today. We're putting together a special deal. So when we announce, the integration's full, it works really well, it's really tight, we'll do your demo, and there should be like a discount deal and like some bonuses and all of that good stuff. Hey, Jim says, looks like you missed the entire presentation. Is it recorded? Yep, absolutely. I hope so. Like, we're going 2 hours. I don't think there's any time limit on GoToWebinar. But certainly it's recorded. We should be publishing it tomorrow. Sorry. Right. Garfield asks about tracking of geo-tracking of customers and clients. At the moment, that's not something we support. We are adding functionality for it. As of, for example, we're expanding our content delivery network so you can specify different pages for different areas of the world, particularly with some of the more onerous opt-in legislation that's appearing in various areas like Canada and the EU. So you'll be able to specify areas of the world and say, I want this more complicated opt-in for this area, but the rest of the world that's more liberal and don't have as many problems, then you can show a default page to all of them. We don't have that yet, though. That's something we're rolling out soon. Hey, Deborah. Deborah says she couldn't hear which key when moving one element at a time. Okay, so if you're just moving an element that's on top, you just drag it, like so. If you need to grab something from behind something else, so by default, this panel will drag everything together. If you need to pull something out from behind, you're holding down either the Windows key if you're on Windows, or the CMD key if you're on Mac, and then that lets you pull stuff out from behind, like that. Hey, Larry. It says, if we host MP4 videos on S3, does Convertri include a player, or do you need your own? So at the moment, you will need your own player. And honestly, I just recommend uploading videos to YouTube or Vimeo. You'll make your life a lot easier. Jen says, yes, she does indeed have Grammarly. She'll turn it off. Fantastic. Yeah, really sorry. That's, again, one of those things that we did not see coming and is incredibly hard for us to fix. Sorry. But yes, and it does cause the text editor to behave wacky. Thankfully, it seems to be the only thing that does, because anytime people describe those symptoms to me, I'm just like, turn Grammarly off, and it's always the issue. Cool, yeah, lots of people around. We're now up to 25 minutes past 8, by the way, on the thing, and it's now 5 minutes to 9 my time, so I'm still half an hour behind. But I'm working through everything. Sorry, lots of people at about half past are like, thank you for the webinar, etc. You're all very welcome. Rob asks if you can use Convertri with Safari sometime soon. No, we are Google Chrome only for, so all the pages you make and publish work on everything. We've put a load of time and effort into making the publisher work with everything going. The editor uses a load of Chrome's cutting edge features, so we are Chrome only for the editor. Garfield asks if we're going to have Payoneer integration. I don't know. It's not something we've considered yet. Mary asks, ClickFunnels have an upgraded feature to track how far users get into watching a video or recorded webinar, and we'll email them to ask why they left early. Are you planning to add this type of feature? Yep, absolutely. That is something we're planning to do in the future. I'm really sorry, Perry. Like I can see all your checks to see if we're live. I really hope you were live at some point when I answered you, mate. Alan, the answer to your question is yes, but I'm not allowed to say officially. Hey, Matt G. I'm glad. Hope you caught lots of Pokemon. This is all entirely recorded, and the replay will be available tomorrow. Hey, Eric says he's an agency level member in the USA. Do you suggest recommended pricing for created funnels? We don't publish any recommended stuff, because honestly, you should be custom pricing this for whoever you sell it to. If you are selling kind of default funnels that you've built once and you're trying to sell them to loads of people and you want a really quick close, you'll sell it really cheaply. If you do custom bespoke work, then it should be super expensive. We have people that charge anywhere from some people are just I'll make you a couple of quick pages off the templates I already have, and they charge $200. We've got some people who charge $5,000. We've got others who take a percentage deal from real estate brokers for getting listings for them, and they make anywhere up to $12K off a deal for a single page they've made. Your pricing needs to match your market rather than a funnel isn't really a thing you're selling. What you're selling is the value to the end customer. Ben asks if you can submit information to a Google form. Yes, you can, with one caveat. So under forms, in the forms section here, you go new form and then select Google form from the list. The caveat is that Google Forms integration doesn't let you specify a thank you page. It will go to a quite bland, boring one. Jose says, the app's super heavyweight. Can you give a series of webinars explaining how to use all of its functionalities? That is exactly what we're here for. We've got one today. I'll do another one on Sunday. And remember, there's the Convertri knowledge base as well, help.convertri.com, where we've got, I think at the last count was 89 articles and videos with stuff. If you get stuck and you need something answered, you can also come to our Facebook group and ask us questions. Neil and I hang out in there all the time. And you can also email support@convertri.com for more help. Cool. Wow, I'm super impressed. So I think we're up to 180 something at peak on the webinar. We're 2 hours in since I started, and there's still 100 people on the call and a load of questions. Thank you so much. I love that you guys are that interested to come and hear about our product and what we're working on. I've obsessed over this product for 2 years now. It's almost 2 years to the day when we started. And I haven't had more than a couple of days off, including weekends, since then. So I love it, and I'm glad your guys are just as excited. Hey, Dave, yep, we will have a replay. It will be posted tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Steve. Steve says, I have to say, I've been very impressed with the Convertri culture, the product, the support, and the way you guys are just so cool. Thanks. Well, I'm a power geek, so I'm not sure I've ever been cool in my entire life, but I will absolutely take the compliment. Thank you so much. Cool. It'd be good to see you on Sunday, Daniel. I don't know why I'm saying this. He was saying he was leaving like half an hour ago, but still. Oh, you're very welcome, Deborah. Deborah just said, thank you for taking the time to answer all the questions. I'm happy to do it. I'm just sorry it's taking... I have to say the question rate is starting to slow down. I'm starting to catch up with it. I think people got a bit bored when I got like half an hour behind and stopped asking. Sorry, guys. I am still going, though. Yep, absolutely, Karen. So all the webinar replays are available on help.convertri.com. Cheers, Karen says, thanks for your patience with our questions. It was a great webinar. You rocked. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Cool. Thank you very much, Rachel, as well. Deborah says, special shout out for this being an actual training and not a disguised upsell. Thank you. Yeah, no, this one and Sunday we are very clear with our messaging. Okay, so we run 2 mailing lists, one from the happiness department and one from the propaganda department. When you get an email from the happiness department, it's updates, it's webinars like this, it's freebies, it's stuff like that. And when you get an email from the propaganda department, it's marketing. We're trying to sell you something. So we will do so the plan is, as I mentioned earlier, that we're going to put together a special offer with the Product Dino guys. There will almost certainly be a webinar all about it, but it will be very clear that it's a sales call. We will probably provide training as part of it, but we won't. It will be clear what we're trying to do. We don't do any of that. Come and learn this amazing thing, and then it's like 2 minutes of content and 2 hours of pitching. We don't do that stuff. Hey, Steve. Steve says, any plans to integrate with Webinar Ninja? Yeah, absolutely. Webinar Ninja's in the same camp as Webinar Jam. That I was under the impression there was no API. Webinar Jam Webinar Ninja because I'm an idiot. There's a link in plain text on their homepage, and I missed it entirely. So yeah, we're absolutely planning to do that. Garfield says, is the limit of 25k impressions, is it a small number or is it it's how many you get? You can have more if you upgrade your account. Hey, Rick. So Rick says, are the Usign templates listed under a separate header? So we don't have any Usign templates. So we have Usign integration. You can build all the Usign stuff they create for you, and then we have an API integration that lets you pull those images into Convertri. But we don't have Usign templates in Convertri itself. Hey, Michael says, when will the recording be available? So we have to basically, after this, we have to process it on my local computer, upload it to the editor who will check it and probably stick a logo stinger on the front and all of that jazz. And then we upload it to YouTube. Usually, if it all goes smoothly, we just release it the next day. Occasionally, we have tech issues and it might take us a couple of days to get it live, but it won't be long. Hey, Deborah. Deborah says, some of the domain and HTML details are beyond my knowledge. Will you be going over it on Sunday's webinar, for instance, telling my hosting site to host this page? You shouldn't actually need to tell your host anything. We host everything for you. All you need to do, all most people need to do is point their domain to us, which can be a pain. Absolutely, getting that initial domain pointed at Convertri, that requires a little bit of techie knowledge, but our support is there to help you do it. Yeah, sorry. So, Council asks, what if the same user accesses account at a time or page or whatever with different devices? They will absolutely see the same. It will be as if they are two different people. That's not something that's connected. Someone says, does Stripe integration need any customization to use with software sales and online product sales? Nope, shouldn't do. You should just be able to sell stuff. Sharon asks, when copying a funnel from ClickFunnels, can each page be pasted under one name in Convertri, or would each page have its own name and then be combined? So on the funnel list here, you'd click, basically go through the import page procedure on the funnel you've created to receive the pages, once for each page, and then all of those pages will be in the same funnel. Cool. I love when we get to stuff like somebody, Mike says, like, thanks, you answered the question. I'm super glad I didn't have no clue which one that was, but thank you. Steve says, is there a page anywhere that has the feature comparisons between pro and agency? I think we've got one, but apologies. I've been talking for 2 hours now and my brain's getting a little bit fried and I can't remember where, so I'm just going to describe it. So Pro gives you access to the Template Club templates, the advanced API integrations, team members, and something else that I should be able to just reel off. Sorry. And more page views, that's it. And agency level gives you access to sub-accounts. If you want to create a funnel for someone and manage it for them for a fee, do you need the agency license? Mostly you'll need the agency license. So there's nothing to stop you hosting stuff on your other accounts. The main limitation is that you can only have one API integration per service in your account. So, for example, if you had two clients that both wanted to use MailChimp, you'd only be able to service one of them. So you'll find that functionality craps out quite quickly as you get clients. But if you just had like one guy that didn't need, and so you also sub accounts let you give like client access to them as well, so they can edit their pages. That's also something you wouldn't be able to do. Sorry, I need 2 seconds, guys. I am well aware that explanation trailed off a bit. So yeah, individual accounts can have one connection to a third-party service. If you have two people with MailChimp, then you would need agency at that point because you need the sub-accounts, so you can have connections to two separate MailChimps. No worries, Deborah. Hang on, let me type it. Say, hold down Windows key or drag. There we go. Kelsey asks, is it possible to protect more than one page with the same opt-in page? So we don't protect anything with it. Literally, so when someone opts in, you redirect them somewhere. There's no protection. It's not like they go to a page and they're sent to the opt-in. If they go to a page's URL, they will see what page is there. They won't be sent off to the opt-in if they haven't opted in. Ha, cool. Tara's counted the templates for us, and apparently we have 272 templates. That's scary. There you go. We release quite a lot of templates. We love templates. We employ a ton of designers to make them. You're welcome, Rick. Oh, thanks, Rolando. Rolando says, thank you for this great platform. Every day I have to pinch myself and make sure Convertri isn't part of my weird dreams. Well, it's part of my weird dreams, Rolando, and you get to use it, so thank you. You're very welcome, Steve. You're welcome too. Lydia says this is the Facebook group Convertri Mastermind group. So it's I will open it because goodness knows what rubbish will be on Facebook when I open it. But I will grab the grab the link for you guys. So if you haven't joined the Facebook group already, you really should. That's the link to it. Come and join us. Neil and I hang out in there all the time. So we can't answer like technical support queries in there. So if on the odd occasion something breaks or something really like account specific and weird is happening, then you will need to email support@convertri.com. But for questions like how do I do X, you can ask stuff like that, and you won't just get answers from us. You'll get answers from loads of our other members as well. There's lots of cool people in there. Oh, thanks, Selwyn. Someone says Convertri absolutely beats all the other builders, plus your can-do attitude makes it exemplary. I'm glad you like it. Oh, you're very welcome, Ray. Ray says, thanks for your super webinar and your enthusiasm. It's enthusiasm stroke like adrenaline-fueled nerves, but they kind of come across the same way when you can't see me, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, sure. So Gary says he needs to install Chrome to use Convertri's editor, but doesn't want to make it the default. So you should just be able to install the Chrome browser, and then when you open it, it will say, "Do you want to make this your default?" And you can say no. So you can still you can edit stuff in using Chrome for Convertri, but open everything else in your browser. Cheers, Christian. Christian says, awesome webinar. It's time for a pint. You deserve a few. Yeah, that's actually tomorrow. So yeah, webinar tonight, sleep. Tomorrow, pint on Friday. Probably be a little bit hungover on Saturday, though I've got other Convertri-based work to do. And then Sunday, I'll be with it to do the next webinar. Cheers, Steve. Thank you very much. Robert says, Webinar Jam API has been updated for a new version. Yeah, it was in fact the update they did that made me aware they have one at all. Steve's asked, how does Convertri handle overage impressions in a given month? So it is, the first thing you should know, it is a soft limit. We're not going to take your pages down. If at whatever the limit is, if you go a bunch over it, we're not going to take the pages down. They'll keep being served. We will just reach out to you and say, you're going over your limits. You need to upgrade your plan, and we'll present you with the options. And then then we can work something out between us. But very few people go over the traffic limits. Everyone's super worried about doing so, but hardly anyone does. So don't freak out. Those limits are pretty high. Pretty much the only people that go over the limits are like if you do a huge launch, or if you like a PPV traffic guy where you're doing pop under traffic. Those, like there, you can rack up the page impressions pretty quickly. Rick asks, does Google index these pages? Yeah, absolutely. Google loves our pages because they load fast and they're all SSL protected. And if you'd like to see it in action, search for Convertri and you'll see where we are. Which is unsurprising as we own the domain, but still, you can see that Google's happy to index it. You're very welcome, Deborah. That's fine. Sorry, Kelsey, I'm not sure what your question about redirecting the user for opt-in pages from different pages is. Possibly because I've been at this 2.25 hours now. My brain's a little bit fried. Jimmy asked, how do you change the fav icon? So that is in here, meta info, social settings. Oh, I'm embarrassing myself now. Fav icon, sorry, visual styling, fav icon under the page menu. Apologies, as noted, been at this 2.25 hours now, a little bit fried. Yeah, okay, Kelsey, I get that you want like dynamic funnels. That's not something we're set up to do. Andrew asks, and Jimmy has in fact found it in between asking about the fav icon. Never mind. Andrew asks, can we add elements into an iframe on a page? Yeah, absolutely. So that's what the custom HTML box does. So whatever you put in that HTML box, we will just reproduce verbatim on your page. So you can shove iframe stuff in there, shove whatever you like in there. Deborah asks, can she host the Convertri pages on another hosting site? So what you can do is you can download our like iframe page to put on your other hosting, but I wouldn't recommend it. Like we host everything for you, and it's quicker, easier, faster, better to use our hosting than your own hosting. We spend a fortune on our hosting, and it's insanely complicated. There's no advantages to trying to host these yourselves, and it's quite difficult. Hey Sharon, yeah, I can demo the Usign integration. I'll do that on Sunday on the next webinar because I need to find where my API key is because it's not on this account. Sorry. Hey Jean. Jean says, did not receive the link for the webinar before it started. How do I get on the list for future webinars? So if you anything like that, when something goes wrong, if you can ping an email to support@convertri.com and we'll figure out what went wrong and fix it. Andrew asks, can pages be exported? So yes, but all you're exporting is like an iframe that points back to the Convertri hosting. So you'd have like, you'd publish your things on something.convertri.com and then you'd have an iframe page on your own domain. You can't export them wholesale. We host everything. That's the best you can do. And it's not really advisable. You will get better results for pretty much whatever you're doing by pointing something at Convertri and hosting it with us direct. Hey Sharon, there's no emails been sent out about Sunday's webinar yet. We'll say the plan is, if all goes well, we get the replay from this. We process that tomorrow. We send an email out with the replay, and in that will also be the details about Sunday's webinar. And even if the replay takes a bit longer to process, we'll send out an email about Sundays tomorrow. Hey Nobby, so a bit of bad news on that front. He says this webinar was well timed for his time zone. It won't be the same time on Sunday. It will be earlier in the day, and I'm pretty sure that makes it the middle of the night for you. Sorry. Awesome, and I have officially caught up with the questions at 9:20. Cool, 2 hours, 20 minutes. We've done well. Right, guys, if you've got any like desperate questions you really want to have answered on this call, we've still got 84 people on it, by the way. Please drop it in the chat box now. Otherwise, my throat is pretty ruined after talking solidly for nearly 2.5 hours. So if it's not desperate, can I ask you to, as I say, either email support@convertri.com, come to the Facebook group and ask there, or show up on Sunday when my throat will be well rested and we can do this all over again and I'll answer a ton more questions for you guys. Digital Dave says, join late, did you cover what Convertri is not used for? I've talked quite a bit during the webinar about different things like we are and aren't good for. So yeah, if you ping through the replay, you should get that, Dave. Robert says, are you familiar with Deadline Funnel? Yeah, I've in fact, somebody introduced me to it very recently. And I particularly like the matched countdown timer functionality they have, and that's definitely something we're planning to copy. You're very welcome, Sharon. I'm happy to do it. As you can probably tell, I do really love Convertri and I love talking about it. So if 180 people are going to come and show up and chat to me about it, I'm very happy to do this. Jimmy says that anything special needs to be done to point a domain to a non-www. It depends if you mean, okay, so when we have domain.com, that's called an apex domain. When you have anything.domain.com, whether it's www or badger.domain.com, www.domain.com, something.domain.com, any of those are subdomains. Convertri works super well with subdomains. We don't recommend pointing the apex domain, just domain.com, directly to Convertri. It's easiest to create a redirect from that. So you would say, if they access, any registrar can do this for you. And if you get stuck, email support@convertri.com. But so basically what happens is you say, if they access mydomain.com, that redirects to www.mydomain.com, and then that's what you point at Convertri. Oh, thanks, Dee. Says you've done an amazing job. Cheers. Thank you very much. Cheers, Rick. Yeah, I'm looking forward to a break now. I'm pretty wasted. My throat hurts a lot. Steve says, brilliant. Webby, thank you. Robert says, see you Sunday. Thanks, Robert. Lydia asks, how long does it take for support to get back to us? Okay, so you will receive an auto response message straight away to confirm that we received it. In terms of getting a useful answer, it will depend what the question's about. Simple questions can usually be handled by frontline support, and you can typically expect you'll definitely get a reply within 1 working day. If the question is harder, particularly if there's technical support needed, it can take a couple of days because somebody from the dev team will need to get into it. We do, at the moment, we're doing tech support sessions every day because obviously we had a huge influx of new users, and we want to make sure you guys are all set up as quickly as possible. And then kind of our standard tech support hours, everyone does shifts on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to get through those. So again, if you have a more technical, difficult question, it will take a little bit longer to get back to you. Yeah, of course. I think I cover that, Jimmy. Cheers, Deborah. Thank you very much. No worries, Digital Dave. The full recording will be up tomorrow, and you can pop along on Sunday. Cheers, Jimmy. Glad you love the products and the support. Rolando says, see you on Sunday. Great webinar. Awesome. And I think we're done. So all that remains for me to say is seriously, thank you very much to absolutely everyone that came out today. It's been super cool to hang out with you, and I look forward to doing it more in the future. Have a great rest of the day. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.